and thank you. I think we can get started.
Thank you, Erica. Sam, are we good? Amazing. Okay, thanks everyone. So, hello and welcome to Green New Theater 2020, Part 1. Y'all, there's no going back. This session is being co-facilitated by Groundwater Arts in partnership with the TCG National Conference and HowlRound. We are hosting this call on Zoom, and there are 139 people here with us. We're also live streaming on HowlRound and on Facebook Live. So hello to all of you who are joining us there. The actual first thing that I want to do is thank TCG and HowlRound for helping make this call possible and send some huge love to Jamil Jude, Momo Holt, and Nicole Salter for laying the absolute groundwork at this morning's plenary for why we need a Green New Theater. We're going to drop a link to the recording of the plenary in the chat for those of you who might have missed it. It is 100% required viewing for the entire field. So let's get into it. The session will last about 90 minutes, and we recognize that digital fatigue is real, so you can feel free to leave and come back, stand up, turn off your camera, do what you need to do to take care of yourself at any point. As a heads up, the format of this session is that we plan to talk for about 30 to 40 minutes, then we'll split into breakout groups, and finally we'll come back to the large group at the end. If you are in the Zoom call and need captioning or ASL support for the breakouts, please privately message Sam or any of us so we can be sure that you are supported. We hope folks will participate in the breakouts because so much of what we do with Green New Theater is based on relationship building and decentralized processes. So we encourage you to participate to whatever extent you can. We're going to take a moment now to introduce ourselves as facilitators, and while we do that, please introduce yourself in the chat box using your names, pronouns, and any land acknowledgement you'd like to give. For those of you watching on HowlRound, send us an email to introduce yourself, and those of you on Facebook, please comment. Visibilizing our access needs is a method of accountability, so I want to take a moment to highlight, amplify, and shout out Unsettling Dramaturgy, a colloquium of MAD, CRIP, disabled, and Indigenous dramaturgs from across Turtle Island for modeling what you all will witness us do momentarily. The link to the Unsettling Facebook page is in the chat and in the comments as soon as Tara can put them there. So I'll go ahead and go first. My name is Annalisa Diaz. I use she, her pronouns. I'm calling from traditional lands of Piscataway Nation, colonially known as Baltimore, Maryland, by the waters of the Chesapeake Bay. These lands have also been cared for by the Susquehannock, Lumbee, and many indigenous nations who are still here today. As a visual description, I'm a brown-skinned woman with long black hair. I'm sitting in front of a black background with Groundwater Arts logo and contact info on it. At this moment, my access needs are met. I'm also Director of Artistic Partnerships and Innovation at Baltimore Center Stage, co-founder of Groundwater Arts, and an independent theater maker. I'll pass to Ronnie now.
Hey everyone, my name is Ronnie Pinoy. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am Laguna Pueblo and Cherokee and live on the traditional lands of the Piscataway, also known as Washington, D.C., on the waters of the Chesapeake Bay. I am a light-skinned woman with long brown hair wearing a burgundy sweater. And I am also sitting in front of a black background with Groundwater Arts logo and contact information on it. And at this moment, my access needs are met. I'm producer at Octopus Theatricals, co-founder of Groundwater Arts, an advisor for the New England Foundation of the Arts National Theater Project. Kita, I'm doing it this time. I'm including it in my bio. And I'm also a composer as well. And I'm going to pass it off to Anna.
Hi, everybody. My name is Anna Lathrop. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I live on the unceded land of the Lenape Nation, more specifically Canarsie peoples, and even more specifically, the Nyack peoples in what is colloquially known as Bay Ridge, Brooklyn, between Upper New York Bay and Nyack Bay, also known as Gravesend Bay. As a visual description, I am a white woman with blonde hair wearing a white dress. I'm sitting in front of a black background with white text in the corner with the Groundwater logo and contact information. I might have to stretch because of a neck injury, which is ironically from being on the computer too much, but otherwise my access needs are being met. I am a design research facilitator, social service designer, and co-founder of Groundwater Arts. And I will now pass it on to Tara.
He's Jay, Tara Chocolidis Ahados. So hello everyone, my name is Tara Moses. I am a citizen of the Seminole Nation of Oklahoma. I use she, her pronouns. I am calling from Osage, Cherokee, and Muskogee nations and the site of the 1921 burning of Black Wall Street and the massacre, whose 99th anniversary was this past Sunday and Monday. These lands are colonially known as Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I am 1 mile away from the Arkansas River. My access needs are that I will need extra time to respond as my attention is split in multiple areas as I am monitoring the Facebook, if we can figure it out, and email. I also may need to get up and go out of frame temporarily or shut off my camera because I'm currently nursing a knee injury. Other than that, my access needs are met. My visual description, I have light brown skin, very long, very dark hair that is like kind of curly-ish right now. I have bright red lipstick and I'm wearing a bright red shirt that matches it. I'm sitting in front of a black background with the Groundwater Arts logo. So for those real specifically here, it says Groundwater Arts on Facebook, groundwaterarts@gmail.com, and hashtag Green New Theater. I am the artistic director of Tela Tulsa, co-founder of Groundwater Arts, a director and a playwright. Now for all of my friends who are not with us on TCG's Zoom account, but you're tuning in on HowlRound, you can participate by sending us an email at groundwaterarts@gmail.com. If you are seeing this on Facebook through a miraculous technical miracle, you can also comment on that live stream. And our email is also in our virtual backgrounds. I will be monitoring the email, and I will be dropping all links that we discuss here into the chat. And then as well as if you email me and you want the links, I will email them to you there. Great.
Yeah. Zoom, and so right now we're going to do a land acknowledgement. Zoom, the platform that we are using today and many, many days, is headquartered in what is now called San Jose, California, on the traditional lands of the Ohlone and Tamian peoples. We acknowledge the land Zoom resides on because the work we create together on a digital platform does not exist in an ether or in an imaginary world, but is made possible because of physical land and the indigenous people who steward it.
So really quickly, I wanted to say that within indigenous communities, there are differing thoughts and opinions on whether we should even do land acknowledgements. My personal individual thoughts that are in no way, shape, or form representative of all Native people or the Seminole Nation is that the educational system in the United States is frankly laughable. Accurate histories of Black, Indigenous, and people of color are not taught deliberately. Important events that have shaped the white supremacist society we live in are intentionally left out. 85% of US textbooks teach that Natives died by 1900. The 1921 massacre is still not, nor has it ever been, taught in the Oklahoma public school curriculum. So for me, when I think about doing a land acknowledgement or not doing one, I think of the millions of people who have no idea whose lands they occupy and who built them. A land acknowledgement can be and is for a lot of people the very first time they have a piece of true information and education that they would have ever received about the lands they occupy. That's tragic, but it's true. So I have a lot more that I can say about that, but I will leave you all with this. But actually, I want to explicitly address white artists and predominantly white institutions. Saying words that you have memorized is not enough, nor will it ever be enough. It is the first step.
Thank you, Tara. So to transition into our session, we have a touchstone at Groundwater. It's a series of values that we return to. It's we also call it our motto informally. And it is start with the ground, give thanks for the water, seed a just future. And as Nicole said earlier today, I'm just going to keep going back to that because I'm still just, I love her. I agree with her, and all four of us at Groundwater agree with her that we, meaning our society and our field, are in misalignment with nature, and that reconnection is where we need to start and to center ourselves. So in terms of who we are, what is Groundwater Arts? We are an artist collaborative working together to reimagine the field through a climate justice lens. We do this through many different kinds of projects, and we are here today to talk about our key project right now, Green New Theater. So Green New Theater is a movement building tool that outlines ideas, strategies, and principles that will help individual artists and arts institutions working in the American theater change how they work in order to adapt in the face of the climate crisis. You can find the full document on our website at groundwaterarts.com. The document consists of 6 principles, and I'm gonna say them quickly right now, but they're also in the document. They are community accountability, decolonized leadership practices, publicly transparent budgeting, right relationship to land and history, sustainable resources, and immediate divestment from fossil fuels. And Tara may have already beat me to it, but we're going to post a link to the document in the chat now. And we know that we won't have time to talk about all 6 principles today. So if you're wondering about how they all connect to climate justice, what does budgeting have to do with, what about fossil fuels, we really encourage you to visit the document itself.
So our call today is going to introduce, or for many of you reintroduce, Green New Theater and the complexity of our current moment as we begin to envision a more just future. So this call is the first in a series of 6 calls that will span the next 9 months. We've intentionally spaced out our calls so that way everyone has the ability to opt in and opt out as their personal bandwidth permits, and because deep change requires the capaciousness of time and care. We hope that over the course of these calls, we as a field will feel more equipped to move toward justice, both at an individual and at institutional levels as we look to rebuild. Each call will model a different principle of the Green New Theater, and today we're modeling community accountability. Don't look now, how have we done it already? Land acknowledgements, access check-ins, visual descriptions, live captioning, ASL interpretation. Thank you to HowlRound and TCG for providing these, and to Momo for highlighting their importance earlier today, and to our interpreters who are here in this call with us at this moment. And for the work before this call, including polling folks for preferred session time, knowing that traditional conference schedules are not accessible for everyone for a myriad of reasons. The Green New Theater document itself was created in collaboration with a wide array of perspectives that center Black, Indigenous, people of color, and disabled people, as those are the folks who are on the front lines of climate change and have been leading climate justice movements for decades. The document itself models community accountability, and you can read all of the names of the wonderful, amazing people who volunteered their time and expertise on the document.
So before we dive in, and go in further to what we're going to do for the rest of our session, we want to hold some room for grounding. So when the 4 of us were talking about this session and acknowledging where each of us and where all of you are at in this moment of time, we went round and round about offering a moment of silence or some sort of other offering. However, we feared, and I'll claim it, I feared that folks would be stuck within their own feelings and be unable to decenter oneself to center community, as that's what we're talking about today, and that is a core value of the Green New Theater. So after we tabled that discussion, ended our call, I lamented to my partner about how I am struggling to understand how difficult it is to center personal feelings for what is good for the entire community. Now, granted, this is how I was raised as a Seminole Muskogee person, but I couldn't understand the sentiment behind individual healing when healing comes from the community. Then I physically felt something. I felt the hands of my ancestors on my arms and back assuring me. My feelings about collective healing weren't my own, but rather come from generations of Seminoles and Muskogees before me. It's not about me, It's not about you, it's about all of us, our loved ones, our ancestors, our neighbors, the artists we collaborate with, those artists' loved ones and ancestors and neighbors, the 100,000, Minneapolis, the land, the indigenous peoples who steward the land, the Black folks who have built and continue to build this land, Black, brown, indigenous, disabled, and low-income people on the front lines fighting for this land and each other, the water, the air. This is about the collective us. The collective us we are holding space for tonight. The collective us we are accountable to. What we hope is that we all recognize that healing does not come from solely within, especially healing from the weight of intergenerational trauma at the hands of colonial violence and genocide and state-sponsored anti-Black violence. Healing this big cannot be accomplished alone. It comes from the collective healing of our communities. And that is how the theater will continue, through being accountable to our communities and prioritizing the collective us, not the individualistic us. I will leave you all with this. This morning, while listening to Jamil, Momo, and Nicole, was the first time I felt any semblance of healing in my spirit in a long time. And why that was, is because what they did was community-led healing. So Mado, Jamil, Momo, and Nicole. Mado.
Yes. I'm just like, yes, Tara, yes. Yeah, I just need to leave some room for that because like, damn. We'd like to now offer a provocation for a longer discussion about how we might be generative in our thinking when so much feels like it is crumbling around us. We want to think with you about the idea of apocalypse. Nicole talked this morning about feeling excited about the opportuneness of this moment, about how in moments of destruction, when things fall apart, something new has the opportunity to emerge, and that resonates so deeply with me. We suggested in advance that folks take a look at an article called On Rushing Toward Apocalypse, which was a conversation between Adrienne Maree Brown and Aja Taylor on March 14th. We're going to put a link to that article in the chat. Don't panic if you didn't have time to take a look at it, we got you. But be sure to check it out after. It's really, really solid work and amazing. We want to build with you all now on Adrienne and Aja's conversation, which was itself building on Aja's and my Creating New Possibilities group. Shout out to the Apocalypse Squad. I'm personally grateful for Adrienne and Aja's leadership and for their hearts. If you have capacity to financially support them, we're dropping links to their work and to work that they support in the chat right now. The root meaning of the Greek word apocalypse, apocalypsis, are an uncovering of things not previously known, which could not be known apart from the unveiling. Nicole and Jamil talked this morning about the lies we have believed about our field. Momo spoke about how inclusion has become a meaningless word without the support systems in place. Support systems that require us all who have been excluded to have power and agency all the time. My friends, the veils have dropped. Now, often when we hear the word apocalypse, we think of something like this. Visual description of the image, it's a green zombie with the words, "one kind of apocalypse." But what if we thought of this instead? Visual description, an image of a small seedling sprouting from dry, sandy earth with the words, "another kind of apocalypse," and Green New Theater and Groundwater Arts logos in the corners. So here's an offering toward reframing how we think about apocalypse. In the article I just mentioned, Adrienne says, "I know there is tragedy here unfolding, the scale of which we will never measure in terms of heartache. But I'm also aware of us moving towards things we have needed to move towards. How do we widen the space within us for the grief and wonder, fear and vision, the surrender and the creativity, the relief, the humor, the possibility?" I'm now turning it over to Ronnie for a reflection.
Yeah, so in my reflecting on this definition of apocalypse, to me, this moment has really uncovered the key difference between performative activism, or what some of us call performative wokeness, and actually doing the work. And I actually mean to say this quite generously, in that I think that this is a time when many of us want to feel like we're doing the right thing. And, you know, I hope that we see now that when non-Black folks really show up, it doesn't look like selfies and statements over a megaphone. It's in what happens behind closed doors. It's how you build relationships now, tomorrow, and next year. Because spending your energy worrying about others' perceptions of you is actually holding you back from the real work. So this moment is uncovering really a challenge to me to make that shift from really thinking about, you know, how you're being perceived to just doing the action. And so with that, I'm going to transition. And as we said before, we'd like to offer you all a moment to connect with one another. So we're going to break everyone participating in the Zoom call into random groups. And so please, when you gather, share your name, pronouns, where you're calling from, a body of water that is nearby, and perhaps share a memory or a story about the water. And don't worry about introducing your institutional affiliation. We're asking you to center your relationship to land as part of how you introduce yourself. So and so as Nicole said this morning, we are really out of alignment with nature, right? So when we introduce ourselves with our institutional affiliations, we're centering the hierarchy. So we're inviting you not to do that now. For those tuning in on Facebook, if we got Facebook to work, please comment with your introduction and stories about a body of water and share with one another. For those on HowlRound's website, please feel free to email us at groundwaterarts@gmail.com. Also on all of our backgrounds, displayed right here on the screen. And then over to you, Anna.
Yeah, so we are going to split out into breakout groups as part of being accountable with our community and modeling decentralization and interdependence. We are trusting you all to be accountable to one another in the breakout groups. If you have facilitation skills, feel free to step up. We ask that you be generous with one another. And when we get into the groups, we're going to be borrowing from a breakout technique we learned from the ESII folks. When you get into your breakout group, first pick someone to take on one of three roles. Pick a scribe, pick a timekeeper, and pick a voice. The scribe will take some quick notes on the conversation. The timekeeper will help your group be aware of how much time is left. And the voice is someone who will report out very briefly when we all come back. For those of you participating on HowlRound, or if technology has worked. Okay. Technology has worked. Those of you on Facebook Live, hello. We will, Tara will be checking our email and our Facebook feed for any sharebacks from anyone playing along at home. We will also have a slide with instructions, and Tara will be your voice when we come back together. So the discussion prompts, which we're going to also put into the chat, are: what is this moment uncovering for you? What is grounding you right now? What are you giving thanks for today? And what seeds are you planting? You'll have, I think, 15, yes? 20, well, you'll have 20 minutes for this breakout. And real quick over to Tara for the playing along at home.
Great, yes. And so for everyone watching online and now on Facebook Live, hooray, we have some visualization exercises that you can do. So what is this moment uncovering for you? What is grounding you right now? What are you giving thanks for today? What seeds are you planting? You can draw a picture, write a poem, do a dance that expresses these three questions, whatever you want. Share it with us, post it on our Facebook page in the comment section. I'm going to be in there. Email it to us at groundwaterarts@gmail.com. Post it on your social medias with hashtag Green New Theater. In a visual description, we have a black slide with white and blue text, including the Groundwater Arts logo and the Green New Theater logo that have the questions I just said, but also include, please join us in visualizing the future. And so in just one moment, there was a request for the questions again in the chat. There they are. We are going to turn it over to our lovely friends at TCG to get us broken up and into our groups. And again, for those on the Facebook Live, we're going to keep these questions up, and I will be engaging with you on the comments there too. Great. So I'm ready whenever you.
Are you ready to go? Sorry, you cut out at the end there. Are you ready to go?
Yes, we're ready for breakout rooms whenever you are.
Awesome. Have fun, everybody.
Hi.
Hello. Do you want to go to a breakout room?
I would like to be in a breakout room with other people, please.
That's wonderful. Let me assign you somewhere.
Thank you.
Sorry
Love
about
you, Amanda.
that. If anybody else is waiting to get into a breakout room, just let me know. Amanda, are you seeing a request to join a breakout room?
I am not seeing a request to join a breakout room. I wish I was.
I know.
I could do the exercise on my own, like the Facebook people too.
I definitely no. I definitely want to figure this out. It's what's weird is you're not showing up in my participants list.
Awesome. Oh, is it under Maggie Feldman? Sometimes my kid's name appears. I thought I corrected that, but.
No, I'm not seeing that.
Okay.
Well, Amanda, while we're figuring that out, what is this moment uncovering for you?
Thank you, Tara. Thank you for inviting me into the small conversation that is you guys, which is, I feel very privileged. Yeah, I think for the first time over this past week, I think my privilege, I knew the word, but I think it's hitting home in ways that it has not before. Yeah. And that is, I am grateful for that.
I don't think you're alone in that.
Yeah. I don't feel alone in that.
Amanda, do you see a button that says breakout rooms?
Oh, something's coming up.
Wonderful.
Searching, something searching. No, 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 no. No. It's okay. I don't want to interrupt a breakout room that's already started anyway.
No, it's okay. I'm bothered because I like to consider myself a breakout room expert. Um,
Can I press join breakout room?
that's exactly what you need to do. In fact, is that if on the bottom of your screen, you should see a breakout menu. She's
I
gone.
didn't, she's in one. She's gone.
I was like, there's a reason that like
You did it.
what is it? If anybody else in this room is expecting to be in a breakout room, please let me know. I'm seeing some folks who haven't joined.
And we also give folks the opportunity to do what fits best for them. And so we may have some friends who do not want to be in a breakout room for a variety of reasons, which we support and love. So they just might be hanging out here. Yeah, welcome friends.
To my facilitators, if there are any messages you'd like me to be broadcasting to,
I was just going to ask that. Can you broadcast the questions?
yes, the
and,
what,
and the 3 roles.
absolutely.
Thank you.
You mean the moderator, note-taker?
Yeah, it's scribe, timekeeper, and voice.
You got it.
And then Sam, when you have a moment, the 20 minutes that we're giving people in breakouts means we're going to pull people back to the main room at 8 o'clock
Oh, interesting.
Eastern.
Got it. It might be a little, I set a timer for 20 minutes.
Oh, great.
So like when we started like and sent everybody away. So that probably means they'll be back around 7:55.
That's perfect.
Perfectly fine.
And they're all gonna get a like 60-second warning before they get like back.
Also, I assume that everybody on HowlRound and Facebook can hear us right now, so we know, and welcome to Behind the Scenes, and thank you for being with us.
Yeah, shout out Facebook friends. Can you hear us? Give us a like.
Give us a like. If any of you would like to join a breakout room, just let me know and I can move you around if you'd like.
How many breakout rooms are there?
I made 23 in order to get folks going. They're all about 5 to 6 because some folks stayed back. There are some that are just pairs. There's one that's just pairs. So they're gonna have a really beautiful, intimate discussion, and I'm excited to know what they have to share.
See that band all dressed in white. God is going to trouble water. It looked like a band of the Israelites. God is going to trouble water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God is going to trouble water. See that band all dressed in red. God is going to trouble his water. Look like a band that Moses led. God is going to trouble his water. Wading in the water. Wading in the water, children. Wading in the water. God is going to trouble his water. My Lord, deliver Daniel, Daniel, Daniel. Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Why not every man? Now did my Lord deliver Daniel? Daniel, Daniel. Did my Lord deliver Daniel? Why not every man? A man went down to the river. Man went down to the river, Lord. Man went down to the river. Went down there for to pray. Man went down to the river. Man went down to the river, Lord. Man went down to the river. To wash his sins all away. Washed all day, washed all night, washed till his hand was sore. Washed all day, washed all night, till he couldn't wash him no more. Hey, man went down to the river. Man went down to the river, Lord. Man went down to the river. Went down there for to pray. Man went down to the river. Man went down to the river, Lord. Man went down to the river to wash his sins away. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble his water. Wade in the water, wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble his water. God's gonna trouble his water. God's gonna trouble his water. Is anyone out there? Does anybody listen or care anymore? We are living on a dying planet. We're killing everything that's alive. And anyone who tries to deny it paid to lie. So I wrote these songs for a dying planet. I'm sorry, but I'm telling the truth. And for everybody trying to save it, these songs are for you too. Is there anyone out there?
I see that folks are rejoining us in the main room. We had some music going while we were waiting, trying to be chill, hanging out with people on Facebook and on HowlRound. Just waiting for everybody to come back and join us. Sam, will you let us know when all the breakouts are back?
There's still technically 16 seconds left for breakouts, so people are probably
Great, great, thank you.
early and coming in.
They can have some music too.
Everybody should be back.
Coal, oil, gas, gonna be some.
You're all
Ronnie, if you want to stop sharing screens, I think we can see, so we can see everybody's beautiful faces. Amazing. Anna or Ronnie, do you want to welcome everybody back?
Sure.
You go for it.
Great. Well, hi, everybody. Welcome back. We're so excited that so many of you stayed and are back again. We have some time left to hear about the super juicy conversations you were all having. And if every voice could raise their hand either by, what's the best way to do this? If every voice could raise their hand in the participants, great, amazing. We will go in that order. And by way of keeping accountable to everyone's time and to each other, we'd like to ask each voice to keep their responses to 1 minute and just give us one highlight from your group. And we are gonna time it to help with accountability. So.
And just the thing about raising hands, we might need an assist from Sam on this. I don't know if we can actually all see the order in which there's a raise your hand button for those of you on Zoom. That's what we're referring to. And I think Sam has access to see like what order you all click that button in so that we are not just like wasting time waiting. Sam, am I right? Can you see the order?
Yeah, the first person on our list here is Marissa Carr.
And some people don't have that button. So I think once we get through everybody who we can see, I think we'll do another call out of whose voices are we missing. And then you put that in the chat. And then also after everyone in the Zoom has gone, I'm going to share some of the wonderful stuff that people have shared on Facebook.
To clarify for those, if you don't know how, If you click participants, you will get a list of functions that pop up over on your chat menu, and the raise hand button is one of those functions. But Marissa's first, if y'all.
Awesome. Hi guys. Yes, like they just said, my name is Marissa Carr. I am the voice for my group, which contained Athena, Reagan, Kenny, and myself. And one highlight for me was learning that we all kind of were uncovering some of the same values around community, and also some of the same values around connection to land, despite most of us being in geographically disparate locations. Yeah, and also that my lake was Lake Michigan, which is one of the Great Lakes, and someone else's body of water was Lake Superior, which is our neighbor Great Lake, which was really lovely. Yeah, I'm just gonna end there. I think that's all the time that I need.
Beautiful modeling of time accountability. Thank you, Marissa.
Next up is Adam Flores.
I was with Wanda, Julie, and Leah, and we had an amazing time communing with each other, though we didn't know each other. The thing that we found was that we use the bodies of water as not only places of communing and convening, but also orientation. Where is that body of water? And that helps me know where I am in my space, and that is part of our grounding. The other thing that we talked a lot about was understanding the abundance of time, not just meaning a lot more of it, but how that time can be cultivated and brought into new ways. We also all spoke about community and how that was the thing that was unearthed. That was the thing that was grounding us. That was the thing that we were grateful for. And that was a place where we were also finding a lot of place to plant seeds. And also we marked the way that this is revealed to us, the way that the earth and its bounty has been cultivated in ways that are unhealthy, unsustainable, and hurtful, in ways that we weren't even sure that we understood.
Awesome. Next up is Jenny Marlowe.
Hi guys, I was in a room with On Wynn, Allison Lehman, and Dorothy Holland. None of us knows each other, so that was cool. We talked about things being uncovered, largely institutional, re-examining our budgets, our mission statements, what these statements were putting out in favor of Black Lives Matter mean moving forward, how our relationship with Zoom is different than we thought it was. Things that have been grounding us almost unilaterally: nature, gardening, walks, the environment around us. Cooking and baking was a big one. Responses of young people in the communities around us was really inspiring. And cleaning, taking care of and honoring our space, cleaning as a ritual. We're giving thanks for our communities, for the ability to take time out in nature right now, the renewed appreciation of the environments around us. And in terms of seeds we're planting, caring for our spaces, our environments, our communities, and ourselves is a big one. Again, institutionally, thinking about new programming, renewed mission statements and budgets. Accountability was something that we all shared, meaning accountability, personal accountability, community accountability, in terms of supporting this movement, but also calling out our own contributions to the ongoing common enemy of white supremacy, where we see it within our own communities, and institutional accountability as well. And I think that's it.
Thank you for sharing. China, you're up next.
I'm China, and I was in a group that I failed to write down names, and I am really horrible at remembering names, and that is my failure, and I apologize. We did discuss a lot of valuable points, however, that, you know, this moment is really bringing us to our institutions, and we're meeting where we sit in our institution and how our institution is in relation to us, and how that feeds the greater industry. And yeah, just what that dance is and what that relationship is. And how we have those conversations, I think, with our leaders as well. I think, yeah, and we, I felt also that we felt that this space is an important space for us in both recognizing the hurt and the healing that we are all going through right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Akia S., you're up next.
Hi, everyone. We had a really great conversation. I was in a group with Bonnie, Lindsay, and Alyssa, and most of us were concentrated in the metropolitan New York City area, but a few of us were in other places. We had a really deep conversation, and I'm going to try to crystallize this as quickly as possible. What is uncovering? We discussed the cyclical nature in regards to previous generations and previous protests of the 1960s, and how are we back, and how deeply insidious the fact that this has never gone away, it's just been hiding, and the multi-generation of people who've protested and fought before us, and how their feelings are right now of that work feeling lost. There was an echoing theme of nature and how out of balance we are with our natural world and how unnatural state of our being is in general. We wanted to lift up that this moment is a spark and an ignition, and that we have to fan and feed this ember so that it doesn't go away in the month and years to come ahead. There was an echo of being both grounding, and what we're thankful for is family, food, home security. Those of us that are still actively employed, being thankful that we're thankful for that work that is engaging in our passions. There was also the echo of accessibility surrounding this conference. We had several people that this was their first conference and they wouldn't otherwise be able to attend if this was not in a virtual place of accessibility. We acknowledged also the sharing of resources. And in terms of seeds of planting, we're talking about the literal seeds of planting, weeding, and growing that we all happened to be doing in our own home this week, of planting food in our homes. Those of us that are big voices, the acknowledgement that we take up space and learning and making sure that we're giving others space and really doing deep listening, and hopefully planting connections with our community out of these conversations and moving ahead. Thank you for letting us share.
Thank you for sharing. Beth Lewis, you're on deck. Beth?
Oh, hi, sorry. Great. We talked about grounding and, oh, sorry, I was with Solomon and Lisa and Tiffany for a short time. Grounding, family, our two of us had sons, partners. That's also what we're grateful for. Making art that is for everyone, hoping that this pause has been allowed us to be vulnerable and open, and spaces like this that allow for that, and this mutual support that we're getting from like-minded people, and really just rejecting the spirit of urgency and that sacrifices of our humanity aren't necessary to create our art. Thank you.
Thank you. Mara?
Before the next person, can I offer for all of our voices, just like take a breath? We have time. It's all good. You have a minute, but a minute's longer than you think it is. So like,
relative.
It's all good.
Time is a relative. Amen. Mara Isaacs, you are next, and then Allison Hicks, you're on deck.
So we uncovered the fact that nobody wanted to speak on behalf of the group, so I took up that mantle. Just want to make that clear. I'm going to highlight one trait from each person in the group. Monique uncovered her hidden strength, and this was particularly exciting about the hidden strength of a Black woman, and so I just wanted to celebrate that. Violet uncovered in her transition moving from Los Angeles to Kansas what it's like to be in a community that's more disconnected from external events from both the COVID pandemic and all of the pain and suffering and protesting that we have participated in and or witnessed in the last week, and how much distrust there is around everything that is going on currently. Let's see, I gave thanks to the people who have painfully and honestly spoken their truths and made themselves vulnerable, and I vow to support them in their quest to create spaces everywhere where people can actually speak honestly about their experiences and be heard, and then have action taken as a result. And Sharia, I think, inspired all of us when she talked about the seeds that she is planting. And I quote, "A theater company owned by Black people, led by Black people, funding by anyone who will give us what we need to do what we have to do without compromising who we are." That is our group.
Thank you.
I wonder if you can drop a link for how folks can donate to support that company in the chat, and if we can then share it on Facebook as well.
Oh goodness, I just lowered somebody's hand. I said their name before. I
It's
believe.
Allison Hicks.
Thank you. I was like, oh no. The space is yours, and then Shireen, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. You're on deck.
Buzujaic, that's hello everybody in Potawatomi. Anyway, I had two lovely humans in my session with me. It was Olga and Mo. Olga is a teacher of Latinx theater, and Mo is from Thailand, and she is an individual theater artist working on a solo show. And we talked about what's grounding us, which it's working on our solo shows for myself and for Mo, and learning, and that's the classes that we're taking online and the things that we're learning about ourselves, and for Olga teaching. And then what we're thankful for are our supportive friends and family, and seeing all the diversity in all the Black Lives Matter marches, that we're all coming together as one to support Black Lives Matter. Sorry, I'm a little nervous. And for seeds, for some of us, we're planting the seed of ourselves into the earth, into the ground to grow. And for some of us, okay, I'm gonna say it for me, it's discovering a conversation about red face and trying to frame that conversation in a really good way. As Native people, we talk about that. Let's talk about this in a good way, with good hearts, with good intentions. And I just also want to say, scarcity is a lie. I loved that. I am just living off of those moments today in that session. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, and we're thankful for technology, for that we're being connected right now here in this place. So thank you.
Abundance, I felt that. Shireen, I know you're on deck. We have somebody with us who needs to leave at 5:30, but was the voice of their group. So Margaret, I'm gonna invite you to share, and then Shireen will get to you.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry to jump the queue because of a time constraint. So thank you so much, Sam. I was in a group with Megan, Christina, and Leslie. We found that the moment has uncovered for us cracks and fears and inequality, both within our society and within ourselves. But we're finding that breath and movement and young people and getting outdoors near our bodies of water are grounding us. We're really grateful for these chances to have virtual conversations like these breakout rooms where hierarchies and barriers are broken down so that conversations could happen between a trustee and a maker on opposite coasts in our group that would never be able to happen in real life, and that might birth something exciting and new and offer opportunities for ourselves to hold us accountable to doing uncomfortable and necessary work as we move forward.
Thank you. Shireen, the floor is yours.
I listen at group with Claudia, Jim, and Jessica, and I just want to name our bodies of water. We're the Detroit River, the Milwaukee River, the San Francisco Bay, and the Pacific Ocean. We talked about the ongoing need that was already there of bringing younger generations up to work on dismantling these systems of oppression that we've been existing in, and now needing to go younger and younger. Like, let's start them younger and younger so that they embody it from an earlier age. That we are really inspired in this moment by other people that are doing this work and doing it so well and so deeply. This moment has just been uncovering the inequities that have been here this whole time, but is bringing it to the surface, I think, for all of us to engage with on a more visceral level, and not everybody who's just directly affected by it in the moment. And what's been really inspiring is that people are more inspired, or more are speaking their truths in a way where they're not being as careful as maybe they were in the past, and that feels really liberating in this moment. I think we have a lot of questions about the best ways to show up in any given moment in this particular time. I think we're all connecting more to the people that really matter to us, connecting to our roots, and we're interested in ideas of community care and how to make brave virtual spaces.
Thank you for that. Heather, you are up, and then Tim, you're on deck.
Hi, everybody. So we were a group of 3. It was myself, Albert Wash, and Sarah Hughes. And our bodies of water were the Allegheny River. We have 3 types of water. We have a river, a bay, and a man-made lake. Allegheny River, the San Francisco Bay, and the lake in Prospect Park. So we focused mostly on thanks, what we were grateful for. All 3 of us, this is the first time we've been at a TCG conference. So I feel like it's that little sprout, right? That it took this for 3 theater artists in 3 very different times in our careers to attend, and to have this access to a national group of theater makers. To each other, we wouldn't have met, right? Okay, so we are also thankful for having a supportive employer, thankful for new ADs who are bringing programming that is inclusive. This moment is, we went back to the statement in the article about COVID uncovering what has always been there. And that for some, it's uncovering things they've known all the time. For others, it's uncovering things that they've chosen not to see, or for whatever reason, haven't seen until now. We talked about intersectionality, how it's all connected. It's all connected. And all these sessions are showing that. And that on a personal level, how this time has shown us to not rely on one platform or one pillar. And I think that goes back to intersectionality. You can't live your life on one pillar or one platform. We are all connected. We talked a little bit how in Canada, the land acknowledgement, I believe, is the law. You would never go to are we at a minute? Sorry.
All right, a minute.
So, I'm sorry. So I'll say this last one really fast because to me, it's such a blessing that we are doing this work. We are having land acknowledgements because if you go to Vancouver, you will never, ever go to a play without a land acknowledgement or any kind of cultural event. Thanks is always given. Thank you.
Thank you, Heather.
All right. Thank you, Heather. Tim, you're up, and then Elena and Marcy, you're both on deck.
So we had an incredible array of bodies of water and also lack of water, and how that was grounding for people in various ways. People around the water enjoyed the history, the calm, the feeling of connectedness that came around being those bodies of water. And those that were in drier areas or with areas with less rain, the anticipation of rain or of water and the longing for that water was grounding and calming for them. We were talking further about how for each of us in various ways, the present moment as being grounded and helping us be present, whether that's in designing new theater spaces in the COVID-19 era, the present moment BLM as an opportunity to rethink power structures, to get past gatekeepers and find new ways to do that. I also have to name a failure of our group, and myself included, where towards the end, the men dominated the conversation and left very little room for women to talk. And I personally apologize to my group for that. And in the spirit of being grounded in the present moment, saying that this is an opportunity to rethink those power structures and to move forward in a better way. Thank you.
Thank you. Acknowledging is the first step. Elena, and then Elena Hodges, and then Marcy.
Hi, I was in a group with Clara, Sabrina, and Hillary, which I found to be a really cathartic space. We found that this moment is uncovering, really for all of us in different ways, some divides in our communities and in our audiences that we didn't maybe recognize were there when we're able to rally around some issues and find ourselves divided among others, including this moment with our Black community. What is grounding us, having this community, this platform to connect with, and having kind of the macro community of the TCG conference, and then our communities of our individual organizations getting to connect with each other and talk about what we're learning through this time. And also time itself and having this moment to be citizens. And one thing that was really profound for me to hear was that it takes time to be a citizen and time to be an artist, but we want to be citizen artists. And that was from Sabrina. And Sabrina, I just want to thank you for that. That was really profound. We're planting seeds of accountability. We're planting seeds of safety. We're planting seeds of broccoli. Literally, me too, Sabrina. And seeds of how we really create security and safety for marginalized people in the work that we do and in the spaces we create and in the organizations that we are a part of.
Thank you. I do want to give everyone a heads up. We're going to start being a lot more strict on the timing, and I'm going to put up a reaction on my screen when you have 10 seconds left.
Thank you, Anna. Marcy, you're up, and then John McCowan, you're next.
Thanks, everybody. I was with Nicole and Sheila, went to thank them. We are by the Rio Grande, the Pacific and Lake Michigan, so we're all over the place. I would just love to share some of the keywords and phrases that came up as we moved through all 4 questions. Gratitude for cherries and sun. Rescued new companion canine named Guffman. A discovery of the not being necessarily tied to institutions or titles, a sense of renewing commitment to community near, far, and global, a discovery of intersections between climate activism by a relative and the theater, and an intersection of the theater and traditional herbal medicine. Thank you.
Thank you. John McCowan, you're up. And then Elizabeth Whistler, you're next.
Hi, this is John. I'm one of those bad voices who forgot to write everyone's name down. We spent a significant amount of time up front really sharing our origins, our identities. It needed to be a safe space. And we shared some very personal things, and we needed to do that and spend time doing that. It was very important. What this moment is uncovering for us, I'd say for those who have been beneficiaries of white privilege, it's been an unbelievable education. As well-intentioned as we feel we've been, we continue to learn and to be horrified by the things that we've been blinded from. For those who have been more directly impacted by recent events, they're feeling exhausted from the intenseness of these conversations, but they're also feeling the healing of going through that process. As far as grounding, we did share the bodies of water, some near us, some where we grew up. And I think the consensus was really that we were glad that it was a body of water, that it tends to have a healing image for us in thinking about that. And as we didn't get to have,
Sorry, I have to cut you off.
Sure. No problem.
Thank you so much.
Just to name out loud for the group, we have 7 people still with their hand raised. So folks coming up, I know that our facilitators are keeping time for us. But yes, treat yourself with abundance in this moment. Elizabeth, and then Carrie.
Hello, I'm Elizabeth. We had 5 people in our group with 4 people either able to or comfortable contributing. We were coast to coast and inland, so multiple bodies of water were mentioned and acknowledged, and relationships to them. Every question was answered differently by everybody in the group, and I appreciated that. But one thread that bound all of us together through the communication was the reoccurring theme of reevaluating and forging relationships and communication. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. Carrie McGee, you're up, and then Samantha.
Hello. I did not get the names of the people in my group, but I will share their thoughts. Things that grounded us: nature, community, making work that creates community and sometimes even uses that community then to build a relationship with nature. So this really beautiful cycle. Uncovering things that we're uncovering is this awareness of the structures that we've bought into and how much they need to change, and in some ways how much they're already starting to change, which is a very nice thought. We're thankful for these sessions, that there are people already doing the work, and we're excited to be able to work with them to do more work. And I think those are the seeds that we're interested in, right? We're weeding the soil. We're taking these things away to plant better seeds, to use the metaphor. And I think, and this was a very personal observation from me, is that the thing that this entire conversation was happening, I'm sitting on my patio while the very ominous and oppressive sounds of helicopters circling and circling and circling while this is going on just kind of created a very real sound cue to our theater discussion.
Thank you. Samantha, and then Kristen.
Hi there. I was with Teresa, Sabine, and Fanny, and the moment was uncovering some fear and anxiety for some of us. We felt, some of us felt like we were in the Tower tarot card right now, which feels like a really good thing. The BIPOC people in our group felt like they're realizing they have a lot more power than they thought they did. And we resonated this morning, all of us, with I believe the lie. So this moment is exciting for us. People are stepping up and meeting the needs of community in this moment. What came across really strongly as grounding for us is the community, helping the community and being of value to the community, and realizing how essential we actually can be and are in our communities. And the seeds are, a couple of us felt like we've always been outsiders in our theater communities, and realizing right now that that's a strength and an opportunity. We're feeling this uprising right now and the power of the moment. I shared that I want to remember this power always, every day, and not go back into the slumber of my privilege. And also, yeah, sorry. Thanks.
Thank you. For anyone who has to leave, I do just want to let you know that we will be putting all the links and everything that we shared on our Facebook page. And if you have any questions or want to follow up with us about anything, please, please, please comment on the Facebook or send us an email, and we would love to hear from all of you.
But we're not ending right now. We're going to keep going. If you need to leave, please feel free to leave, but we're going to keep going. I think there's a few people left, and then we'll hear from Tara, the voice of the Facebook and the HowlRound, and then we'll close out.
Kristen, you're up.
Hi, I'm Kristen in my group. Hi, I'm Kristen. In my group was Allison, Daniela, and Jeff. In the interest of time, I think I just want to share that we ended our really rich and beautiful conversation by dancing together, and there was some. And so I think one of the seeds that we planted, although we didn't discuss it, is the seed of joy and what it means to dance on Zoom with strangers, and just how important that is for the work that we're doing. Thank you all.
Thank you. I don't know how to pronounce this person's name. Ansakya. I apologize if I'm butchering it, but you're up.
I'm up. Hey y'all. How you doing? Thank you, Sam. It's Ansa Chea. He, him, his, my pronouns. Greetings, salutations from Minnesota. So our group spoke about an immense sense of sadness that we had, and the lack of judgment from the historical lessons that we've learned. And my group had Dylan, Amy, myself, Ansa, and Rita. We talked about the intersection of politics and capitalism in the work that we have done and will do. The effects of weather, oddly, about how these seasons are going to be affecting people's moods and temperament, and also how sustainable is it to have military presence when it's going to be hot. So it's going to be very interesting how people react and respond, also as artists. A strong feeling of feelings of commitment to the people and the enormity of this moment, and how to turn pain into something else. And the last thing is how much we appreciated the honesty of people in this moment. Done! Nailed it! With time left to spare.
Susan?
Just in shock.
Hi, everyone. I had just a single other human in my group with me. And it was wonderful. And she had to exit right after we talked, so I am the spokesperson. Her name is Madison Fairchild, and I do want to lift her up in the name of breaking down hierarchy. She just graduated with her undergrad degree from a university in Wisconsin. So yeah, I want to give her some, because one of the things that we were both grateful for, and I, as a lecturer at a university nearby, we were grateful that the semester is over, you know, because of all the things. So we found that the uncovering and the things that we were grateful for had a lot of similarities, in that, just to be brief, that in the uncovering, we uncovered that we had time to do meaningful work that we were working on before, but in this time that we're in now, that we had time to both do the meaningful work and also reflect on
on the work itself, including holding ourselves accountable for why we were doing the work and what brought us to the work itself. So we were both grateful for that uncovering. We were both grateful that we have safe relationships with our families in this time, and grateful, she had a great phrase, which was grateful for time to acknowledge, think, and take action right away, because what else are we all doing? So that was good. Thank you.
Good. Sandra?
Hello, yeah, Sandra, thank you. I was in a group with Kate, Viviana, Tanisha, and Eileen, and we had a discussion about how this moment, the pandemic, has kind of degrounded us, thinking of myself as an individual has popped up. Feeling personal accountability has become louder with our lack of group activity. We're talking about giving more time, giving my time to activism, is particularly with Black Lives Matter, and noting that the issues are not only over there in another country or in another state, but they're right here with us. Paying close attention to the people in our own group, our own race, our own culture, our own spaces. And so that's been magnified, the workings of each other. But really, really grateful for the time, the ecosystems of our own houses, of our own spaces. And super grateful for the discomfort, actually, for this ability to feel uncomfortable, but to have the space and time to move forward with it. Super grateful for grace, the grace of time, the grace of each other, and the understanding with this new relationship with time and holding time in a new way. Thank you.
Thank you. Is that everybody?
That is everybody.
Now it's my turn. Just kidding. It's Facebook's turn.
Go ahead, voice of Facebook.
Yes. So for my Facebook friends tuning in, if I mispronounce your name, I deeply, deeply apologize. So Amber is very thankful for family. Caitlin is very thankful for Black Lives Matter, freedom fighters, and for all the protesters in DC who are doing a wonderful job. Thankful for community support. Arlia is being reminded of the water, the air that has sustained them. Being very thankful to God and the breath around them and the ground around them, giving thanks for the mercies, both large and small, and planting seeds for renewal. Caitlin is very much uncovering where they thrive. And although cities with access to restaurants and cultural institutions are great, in the long term, mentally, it may be more healthy to be abundant in nature and lakes and in fields. We are planting the seeds of information and spreading desire for change. And then finally, Arlia wrote a poem that's really short that I really want to share. Open the door, touch the wound, witness the long healing. Let the scar remind you of what's new. Soft, shiny skin to care for. Careful, careful. Open the door. Thank you, Facebook.
We got poems, we got reflections, we've got actions, there's like healing. It's amazing. Wow, 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 wow. Y'all, that was great. Thank you so much. I want to wrap us up quickly because we've gone just a few minutes over time. So thank you to all of you for staying on with us. I'm so glad that we made time spacious. A big thank you to our friends at HowlRound and TCG for helping us host this first chapter of Green New Theater 2020. It has, let me tell you, it has taken an entire village. The number of people that have contributed to this session is very, very high. Big thanks to Sam, especially, for basically jumping in and being a co-facilitator in the sharebacks. And I want to say thank you to all of the ASL interpreters and captioners who helped us make this accessible. We really appreciate you for being here. And I want to say that the second chapter of Green New Theater 2020 will take place in about 5 to 6 weeks. It'll be another Zoom call, and we invite you to stay in touch with us at Groundwater Arts for more information about how to join us for the next call and to be involved with our work. If you'd like to stay in touch with us, you can email us at groundwaterarts@gmail.com. Join the Groundwater Arts Slack space, which is new. It's groundwaterarts.slack.com. Or follow us on Facebook. Tara's gonna be a magician and drop all of this information into the chat. And so by way of closing out, I just wanna amplify that even though we have our friends at the People's Climate Movement recently needed to go on hiatus, but as we know, the climate catastrophe did not. And PCM has a saying that we often repeat because it's just so good, which is to change everything, we need everyone. So we hope to see you all again on the next Green New Theater call, or to hear from you and to work with you and continue to build with you all. Thank you so much for being here. Thanks for sticking with us. I'm gonna ask Sam to close our room out because I know Sam and the TCG friends have been at it since like, I don't know what time o'clock. I don't even know if they're sleeping. So like, again, big thank you to TCG. Please get some rest. We'll see you all tomorrow.
Bye everybody, have a great evening.
Thank you.
The space.
Also, this is Ella Jenkins, if those are wondering.
Thank you.
Bye everybody.